All right, ascending 16th notes. So remember, always focus on the accuracy above all else. So good idea once you reach a speed where you notice you might be missing one of those upstrokes prior to the string change, or something just doesn't sound right anymore, things are no longer synced up. Stay at that tempo you reached. Try and get several repetitions in to make it sound and feel correct once more. So again, just focus on the accuracy above all else. Of course, just go up in the fives, take your time with it, and then we'll really push that speed hard when we meet up again next week. But here's how it should sound. 1E and a 2E and a 3. One E and a 2E and a 3. One E and a 2E and a 3. One E and a 2E and a 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3. 1E and a 2E and a 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Uh-oh. I accidentally closed something. Hold on. There it is, the rhythm. Okay. So yeah, the quarter note rest, when you are tapping your foot and also muting the strings with your strumming hand, that should help with keeping the timing correct. So also counting all the 16th notes along with the beat numbers that you rest on, that's going to be very helpful. So try doing that as well as far as you can go with the speed. So yeah, count it out loud, extremely helpful. But here we go. 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4, 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 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4. Done. 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4, 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 1E and a 2, 3E and a 4. Or you could also say rest or stop for the rest symbols, because, well, just saying out loud what you're supposed to do could also be very, very helpful. 1E and a stop, 2E and a stop, 1E and a stop, 2E and a stop, 3E and a stop, 4E and a stop, 1E and a rest, 2E and a rest. Now I said the 2E and instead of 3 and a. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1E and a stop. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1E and a rest, 3E and a rest, 1E and a rest, 3E and a rest, 1E and a rest, 3E and a rest, 1E and a rest, 3E and a rest. Of course, you can just say the 16th notes that you're playing. So if you find it saying something on the beats 2 and 4 is harmful and it makes it harder to do, then don't do it. So try, counting it different ways, see what helps you lock on to everything the best, and then stick with that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and I'm saying 2 when it's supposed to be 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and even just do kind of like just rhythmically say something like da 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 instead of 1 and a 3 and a. You can just say 1 and a the whole time when it comes down to it. But it's like da 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 da. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually, probably get too fast to continue saying something. Try to, but as long as the foot's tapping and you're muting things correctly, that's what matters most. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So take your time with it, ease into it. As soon as you reach a speed where you start to question if it's correct, try doing it many, many times at that speed until it feels solid and it sounds solid. And then that's where you go for that day. And then the next day you just try and go a little bit more. So just ease into it all. And you can do the whole, record yourself, listen to it, visually see where things line up with the grid. Always a good idea like you did before. And I think that covers it. All right, any questions come up, let me know. I'll see you again next week.